pick back up where I was yesterday, start drawing Zoom again, and see how far we can get. Probably won't do a very long stream today, but just trying to get something done, make some progress as much as I can. So we're just going to get right down to it and start seeing where we can go. Really enjoying the flow of this pose. Got the hair movement, the clothing movement, which really is a lot of fun. And now I'm probably just going to go in and start looking at where the darks are and where the lines are going. Got some things to fix here. My phone is going off again. So I have to see what's going on. For some reason the connection here didn't happen in the armor. Draw that more like this. There, that way it's a little more pointed. Got more shape to it. There we go. That's better. Same with this side. It's just not connecting the way I wanted it to. That's okay, because a lot of things I was doing yesterday was about gesture and not the finished product at all. I guess what I'm going to do with this drawing is I'm going to make it a more of a trading card set, I think. Probably, or possibly some posters. But I'm thinking if this comes out half as good as the Mare drawing did, then we're going to make this definitely something that I want to push as a set, not just let's see what we're doing here. Not just as a standalone drawing. This would be something we add to the campaign down the road for the comic, and I'm hoping that we do get that far. Yeah, that's not working. Not working for me. I have to fix this. These shorter, I don't know what you'd call it, just pieces of armor, are kind of difficult to draw because they're really weird shaped. So whenever you get different angles on them, they're just really hard. So kind of want to have that similar shape so you recognize it, but it's also got to wrap around her shoulder a little bit. It's going to be round here though. Probably flare out a little bit there. Yeah, that's probably closer to the real shape of the armor. up just a little bit. I'll zoom out, see if it makes sense. It seems to make sense. Might even turn it just a little bit just to see what it will do. Yeah, I think that's close. Yeah, I think I'm going to draw it opposite. That's fine. Oh, that's fine. It's good to turn it a little bit. Make sure you got your shapes right. Okay. All right, we're going to cut that just a little bit. Okay. Looking good. So make sure she's not getting too size wise, not getting too big. I don't think this was sized right, actually. It's on her shoulder. It's probably coming up a little bit, covering a little bit of the arm and a little bit over on the shoulder. That's better. Yeah, much better. You're getting that top angle. Okay. There's still something off on it. And I'm not sure what it is. When you just say you're not happy with something, that's what it is. I'm just not happy with it. So you turned. I think it's right there. Pulling up a little bit. Something's off with it. I'll have to revisit this. You know, sometimes I like my gesture drawings a little better than my finished drawings. Use more to the imagination, I think. It's a lot more fun to mess with. lose all that. Can't lose it all. Getting there. Much more balanced on the shading. Not sure what this is. Get rid of these. Must be my gesture line. Clean that up a little bit. Whoops, not the right button. Too much. I probably should render before I get into a lot of this, but I actually like to see when the blacks are going to be sometimes and just go for it. I can always go back and, redraw it if I need to. Okay. Work on this a little bit. Too heavy. Try to leave a little bit of white right there between that sash hanging down and the shade, because I need to see the lines when I make that contrast a little bit. I need to know where those lines are. I'm going to lose it. And then once I lose it, it'll be hard to get it back. So I want to make sure that I leave some edge line there, just a little bit. Doesn't have to be a lot, enough to let me know that it's still there. Like right here on the right side of it. I got to make sure that I see it. Clothing can be tricky. Try not to overdo the shadow and stuff in the clothing, but actually it's a lot of fun, and I try to make it look good, but sometimes you just don't get what you want. You gotta have a little flow to it too, because fabric doesn't wrinkle perfectly straight. It's going to have imperfections and ripples, so you got to let it flow a little bit. Taking good shape, liking it. Now this is going to need to be cleaned up. Sometimes that's the problem with not doing layers, I guess you should say, shoot. Because then it's hard to hide your preliminaries. Why did I make this tool? Sometimes you'd like those underneath though, because it really does add depth to the shape, because it gives you some of the form underneath. And when it implies the form, it actually makes your eye believe that that's what it is. So it's really nice if you can use that. To white again. Darn it. I watch my thumb on this pen. Yeah, there we go. Pull back down here. Clean it up just a little, and you can always go back in and add some more dirty lines in there just to make it rough looking. I like rough. I like that rough edge sometimes. I think it makes things look more energetic. I'm definitely not trying to be a perfectionist, and I know I like what I like, and I go for that. I try to emulate that, but there are things that I like to see in a drawing that I think sometimes people who draw digital take away. It's too perfect. I know a lot of people have talked about that before, and I would wholeheartedly agree. You just don't want it too perfect, and you kill your energy when you do in the drawing when you do that. And I think you got to be careful of that. You can really, I don't know, detract from the drawing, not ruin it, because I think there's times where it's nice to see a little bit of perfection there, because sometimes whatever you're drawing, it really it takes that kind of technique. Like, you need to see that for it to give you the idea that the artist is trying to portray. But most of the time, people are just being perfectionists. And I get it, because I am. I mean, my OCD and everything, I'm OCD. But I've been trying to let that go while I draw and actually make my drawing have more flow to it. I do feel more loose on digital, and I think it's because if I make a mistake, I can go back. I can redo it. I can back out, So it gives it a little more freedom. I do believe that helps me. Now, that may not be for everybody, but for me, definitely when I can that picture on it. But when I can feel like I have freedom to make a mistake, it feels good. It feels really good. And so that's one of the tough parts about drawing, is not being able to make your mistakes because you're afraid you're going to mess it up. Yeah. Okay. So far, so good. Probably add some more black in there. Yeah, definitely. Just take a little bit of an edge there. Same with this. Sometimes drawing with the eraser tool really is cool. Okay. You don't want to do a lot because that's not the way shadows work. So you got to be careful to not overdo it. You want to do it enough that the eye sees the object that you're trying to outline. But other than that, you don't want, you don't want to draw it out too much. But that eye, your eye needs to have that contrast to be able to differentiate the different textures and pieces, because sometimes heavy shadow can just cover it up and then you're not going to see it. Which some stuff you want that, and other stuff you don't. There we go. Okay. A little bit too wide there. And then just a little. There's still a little too much white there on the edge, but it's going to get better. Believe me. Believe it. I feel like I'm just now getting to a place where I'm loving where most of the shadows are. I don't know. Start working on this. That didn't work so well. I know what I'm trying to do, I just don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it off. Okay. Now let's work on this hand a little bit. Hands are tricky. You're going to get the shape of the hand. Pretty much know the anatomy of a hand. Be able to really get it. Clean this up in here so we can differentiate what the hand is. I'm going to go pretty small here. Let's take a look. I don't think that's what I want. And it's not. So, although if you turn it, yes, it looks like a hand, but it's not the right angle of the hand. So I've got to draw this. I'll draw that pinky finger more in front of the other fingers. And they need to be layered on top of each other a little more. So I'll do it again. That is not correct anatomy on the hand, but it does give me a little more of a gesture. You gotta play it out. Ooh. Oh man. Definitely gonna have to spend time on this hand. It's probably gonna be the hardest part of the whole drawing. are tough. They just are. So let's go to a new layer and let's start playing with this a little more. I think that's a little more natural. I'm going to have to draw that side down just a little bit. It's just not coming out right yet. It's close. You actually have this side of your hand that does that. All right. Actually, it has to come out a little wider. Boy, our hands tough. I've overcame it though, at least for now. I may go back in and redo it, but for now, I think it's looking good. Proportion to the face, I think it's looking good. I don't think it's too small. I think we're gonna be all right. So we got a little bit of time left. Sometimes I think I drew too big of a pencil on some of these areas. Like the shading, but I want the shading to be a little more subtle. I'm not sure if it's going to come out the way I want it to. Is that not working? Different there, probably. There we go. Up a little bit. It just looks totally stupid what he just did. But whatever. Fix that bandana. Okay, she's starting to take some shape now. Starting to get that in there. Yeah, I'm liking this quite a bit. Still have the feet and the few things to still do. Gotta clean this up too. Didn't even realize that was so bad. That's gonna be sloppy. There we go. Don't reach your good stuff. Yeah. Here's another case where sometimes those hidden lines become so hidden you don't think about them. But they can really mess with the flow of things. You want to make sure you get rid of them, or you can hide them in the layer. So let's back out. Much better. Let's go in a little bit. Excuse me. Down a little sharper. Nope. Didn't do it. Oh my gosh. I'm ruining that line. I'm just going to leave it alone here. There we go. Okay, looking pretty good so far. Fix that scarf. Really just wanted to work on that threading. Now, get this scarf on here. That's not what I want. Another reason why I don't like to see people do too perfect is because those messy lines are what makes things really interesting. And when you get rid of them, you lose that interest. You lose what makes it nice to look at. So, like I said, the energy, and I don't mean some kind of new age thing. I'm just talking like there's energy and flow to what she's doing. Her ponytail is whipping around. Her little braids are flopping. They're flowing out from her face because she just jumped into that pose. When you see her just jump in the pose, you see her sash down there flowing, and you can tell there's tension in that pose, and you can feel the intensity of it at that point. That's the energy I'm talking about. The believability and immersing yourself in what that character is doing is ultra important to what you're going to have people believe when they read this character, when they see the character on page. They have to feel that. And you're not doing your job if you don't have them do some of that. No, I'm not an expert, but I know what I like. Release some of that in there. That'll be covered up, so I'm not worried about that. Okay. Slop. It's okay. We're going to clean it up. We're going to make it look good when she gets done here. It'll be beautiful. Okay. It's looking way better. And getting real close to ending the stream today. Going on almost an hour. I'm going to do some different parts to finishing her. I may do a stream later on tonight. Not real sure yet. But for right now, I think this is what I have with Zoom. She's going to get better and better as we go here, and I hope you all can join me. I might even work on it off stream. I'm not sure yet. But I do know that I'm really liking how everything's coming along. And I'll make sure that I post this to my Twitter. And you can follow me at drock on Twitter. And I hope to see you guys soon. I thank you so much for joining me, and I'll talk to you later.